Good evening, everybody. It's your boy Brickerhoff. I'm in the HPL booth. Tennessee Performance League is going to be coming at you tonight. We have the Xfinity Series tonight. It is the official start to Season 8 in the Hennessy Performance League. It has been a decent hiatus. I'm sure one of these two fellas is going to correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the last race in this league was back in May or June of 2024. So here we are in January of 25. NASCAR Heat 5 is off of your PlayStation Store, but the servers are up and the racing is up, and we are getting ready to go. In the booth with me tonight is former competitor Shake and Bake. I think he's racing tomorrow. And then our new addition to the HBL. Oh, shit. I had the name. He's new, so now I forgot it. Colt.
Yep.
Colt Boy, right?
Colts boy.
Colts
30,
Boy.
yeah,
Okay, so he's probably from Indy. What's up,
Yep.
fellas? Say hello to the fans.
Hey guys, how y'all doing? Nice to be here with y'all today.
What's going on? Excited to be back. Yeah, it has been a long break since we have been back up in the booth broadcasting any races. The league's kind of taken a step back from NASCAR, done a lot of stuff with college football, but now we're back. We got both going, but NASCAR is officially back, Season 8, ready to get going tonight. Xfinity at Daytona.
If you've been a competitor or a fan of this league in the past, you may have heard rumors that it was not going to come back until maybe the next game came out. But here we are. So we're going to send NASCAR Heat 5 off with a proper send-off. 15 race schedule, 10 regular season races, 5 playoff races. And we're going to start where else, of course, but Daytona Beach, Florida for the Xfinity Daytona 150.
Yeah, I mean, definitely you have to. You got to start at Daytona. It doesn't matter what league, what you're doing. Daytona needs to be the start of the season. And that's how we're kicking it off. We got the Xfinity tonight, Cup tomorrow night for the Daytona 500, or 250 rather for our case. But, I mean, no better place to start the season. Anybody's got a shot tonight, and excited to get it going.
And that's kind of the thing, right? Like everybody has nearly an equal shot at starting off their season with a win, with a good performance. And you know, there's guys who are going to be up front in most weeks, and they could have themselves a pretty bad week this week, just based on the draft, the size of the packs, pitch strategy. There's a lot that's going to go into this race today, and I'm sure we'll get through it soon. The boys have just started qualifying, so we should be done with that. But Colt, what do you expect your first race here to view from the booth? What do you think we're going to see out here tonight?
I mean, that's gonna be interesting. Like, what is going to like these drivers' heads? Like, how aggressive do you be? What moves do you do in this certain scenario? And what are just like the overall nerves and the feelings of these drivers? Like, first race back in nearly a year. I mean, there's gonna be some pent up emotion in there for sure.
Absolutely. Shake, what do you think? What do you think we're going to see out there tonight? You're pretty experienced in this league.
Yeah, I mean, Colt Boy's definitely not wrong in saying like it's been a year since we've all had an actual league race, but a lot of these guys, this isn't the only league they race in, and I mean we've already had a couple exhibition races where we've already seen some tempers flare, and I mean the one thing I love about this league is the aggressiveness that a lot of these drivers show, and I think them all getting back on the track tonight together. I think you're going to see. I mean, obviously it's Daytona, it's a super speedway. You're going to have teamwork, but it wouldn't shock me to see a couple people leave some other guys out to dry and really just drop to the back. And I think that's going to be a really big sign on how this season's going to go. I mean, there's a lot of rivalries in this league. Within the league, the Xfinity Series definitely was the most action-packed series we had last year when we were doing this. I think there was probably, I'm willing to put money on it, there was more penalties put out in Xfinity than any other series. The guys just went for it at all times. I mean, lap 200, it didn't matter. They were going for a win. So it's just exciting. Xfinity has always been one of the most interesting series in here, and tonight I don't think it's going to disappoint.
Now, if you are watching this, I'm going to go over real quick the teams and their captains. If you know NASCAR Xfinity Series, especially from the 2020 season, you'll recognize these teams. They are real race team names, but here are the owners. So we're going to start with JR Motorsports. That's cars 1, 7, 8, and 9, owned by Riley. He will be racing tomorrow's race. Then we have Trackhouse Racing. They're going to be racing the calling cars, 10, 11, 16, and also 21 from the RCR stables. Then we have Joe Gibbs Racing, which is, of course, the 18, 19, 20, and 54. That's owned by Captain Dead Dad. Oh, I forgot to mention Trackhouse is owned by HPL admin Always Joker. Joe Gibbs is Captain Deadman. Penske Racing, which is going to be driving the 22, of course, along with the 38, the 98, and the 39. That's owned by our booth partner here, Shake and Bake. And then RFK Racing is owned by Heredia God, and that is the 0, 4, 6, and 15. And SHR, the now defunct Stewart Haas Racing, owned by Jackson Altman, is the 44, 90, 92, and 98. I hope you all wrote that down. But don't worry, we'll go over it all again here soon. A big field, a big race at a big track, big event. And I got to say, there's what, 20 guys, 24 guys in this race? I'm sure all of their hearts are pumping. All of their palms are getting sweaty. This is a long time coming, as Colt said, nearly a year of no league racing, at least in HPL. And a lot of these guys may have raced together in other leagues, but this is the first time in such a long time that we're going to have all of them together. The top of the echelon. This is one of the premier league racing series on PlayStation or Xbox. And if you can't tell, I'm kind of excited.
Yeah, I mean, you got every right to be excited. And from the looks of things, looking at the race attendance, we have 21 regular Xfinity drivers signed up and 2 hot seat drivers. Jackson Altman, the owner of Stewart Haas, is going to be racing, and Riley, the owner of Hendrick, will also be racing in the 68 tonight. So right now it's looking like we're going to have 23 drivers for tonight's race. And, I mean, anybody that knows NASCAR or has played this game, you know how quickly, if you jump out of line, how quick you can drop back. And if there's 23 drivers and you're up near the front and you make the wrong move and you have to regain all that track position, it's going to be a long night. And, I mean, 23 people is a very big turnout for most league races. And when you got 23 talented guys, it's going to be very, very tough. Track position is going to be everything tonight.
So just so everybody knows, at 23 racers, there's one seat open, and I will pull a Neil Bonnet and walk out of the booth and get in a car if anybody needs. But we should be racing here pretty soon. Qualifying takes about 5-6 minutes, which started at 8:35. I'm sure they're going to give the guys at least a break to get their collars and their seats and their pedals all set, ready to go. Colt, now you have raced in leagues before, but you haven't raced in HPL. What's a strategy that you would typically take heading into Daytona?
Well, usually what I like to do is I don't really like to put my machinery in like bad place. You know, I don't really like being too aggressive and wrecking my car up and really ruining myself later in the run. I really like to just sit back, but there's a lot of fast guys in this league. I don't think you can really do that. So I think I just got to think you got to maintain position as best you can in this. So.
It's definitely a place you're going to make and lose friends as quickly as you can. Shake, why don't you give the guys listening a little insight into the rules, draft settings, things like that, so everybody's at least caught up.
Yeah, so tonight's race is going to be a 50% race. It's going to be 50 laps. The draft will be on high, so you're going to see some big runs out of these guys. It's going to be really big to see if they take them or not. Your fuel and tire wear is going to be on 2X, so if I'm not mistaken, for Xfinity, I believe Stage 3 is going to be the only stage where we're going to see any pit stops. And damage will be on, so that's another thing that a lot of these guys are going to have to be wary of, especially with high draft. Some of these runs you get, if you're coming up to a guy too quick and you don't take the run, if you just ram into the back of him, that's going to give you front end damage. And in this game, I will tell you, if you get front end damage and you're the lead car trying to make a pass on the outside, if you have that run, the aero is very, very sensitive. It really feels like it's extremely hard to be the leader of a pack when you have any aero damage. So guys are going to have to be wary of that. We will have relaxed yellows on, and also if the game does miss a caution where we have a few drivers wreck and it doesn't get thrown, we will do manual cautions. So, I mean, I think that should be pretty much everything rule-wise. But I'm going to go back to what you just asked Colts Boy and kind of give my own twist on it. You asked what your mindset needs to be on super speedways. And I'll tell you, the one thing I've learned in here is you got to find your friends, you got to find them quick, and you got to work together. There's some leagues that you can go out and you can do everything on your own, get to the front. It's not easy to do here. You have to do everything perfectly if you're going to do it on your own, and it's very hard to be perfect for a whole race. But you got to find your friends, and I mean, you'll see a lot, especially in Stage 3, if I'm not mistaken, because I don't think they have to pit in Stage 1 or Stage 2. In Stage 3, you're not going to want to be the leader before the pit stop. you're going to want to be second, third, and that way you can save a little bit of fuel because you want that last pit stop to be as short as possible. That way when you come out, you have the track position. So it's all about managing your stuff in stage 3, managing your track position, stage 1 and 2, and I don't know. I mean, 8:45, we should be going green any second now. I'm excited.
Yeah, I just got another invite from Ms. Soaps, driver of the Junior Motorsports car. So I'm assuming we should be coming in soon. I don't see any invite, any direction yet, but we're holding on. Also, something I wanted to mention as you talk about stage 3 when we get there is the green flag pit stop. So what lap people come in is going to be really important because if you can only take 1 can of fuel or a can and a half, that's less time on pit road. Tires aren't essentially that much of an advantage here. You know, new tires actually are a hindrance, at least for the first couple of laps on the super speedways. If you come out on your scuffs or your worn tires and you can make it the rest of the way, it's really not a disadvantage. So how much fuel they have to put in the car is going to matter. And if they pit too early, and some guys generally don't want to pit with the crowd. So if they pit a lap early, that might mean just an extra second or so on pit road, and that could cost them a football field or more as they get out. And it's also, as you mentioned, the teamwork. There's a lot of teamwork that goes into sim racing, especially because we're in constant communication with each other. It's a little different than in real life. But at the same time, this is the place where if you get 4 cars together, and these are 4-car teams, you can start to make a move all by yourselves. Now, there's going to be a lot of jockeying for position. I'm sure we're going to see a couple of guys up front just want to drop to the back and get with their teammates. A couple of guys are going to be really antsy to get through the field to get to their teammates. So let's see, especially early on, who is able to hook up. So pay attention to those teams, to those that I mentioned off, and we'll talk about them some more. But pay attention to those guys and really see who's going to be working together. Because some guys, I'll add this real quick. Some guys are on a team, but they aren't necessarily the best team players. And this is racing, so it is difficult to get that mindset. I think we should be getting in here anytime soon. Shake, do you know?
Yeah, I have a stream up. I got small stream up. That way we will have a lap counter. It looks like they are still in the lobby right now. Looks like we have 22 drivers. So one person that voted in did not show up. I'm not sure who that is. But I mean, 22 drivers tonight. I'll let you know as soon as the lobby does get started, so we know when we can join. But I'm gonna ask a question. Got to go back to a tradition that we did all year last year when Jake was up in the booth. I want to know, Brink, who is your pick to win the race?
Well, it's Daytona, right? And there's a lot of names I could mention that might win next week and the week after, but none of those names matter today. So if I'm going to pick one guy, and remember, it's a team thing. So what team is going to put a certain guy up front? It might be the guy you wouldn't necessarily see up front each week. I'm going to go with, because I think this team will work the best together, I'm going to go with number 16, U of L fan. I think he's going to sneak out a win here today.
All right, Colts boy, I know you don't know a lot of the drivers in here, but your shot in the dark, who do you have opening the season with a bang?
Shot in the dark. Okay, well, I do know a few faces in here. And I know one that I've raced with personally who's very fast is that 7-car Masovs. Always really fast everywhere he goes. I think he'll stick up to the front and eventually pull out the win today at Daytona.
And I am going to pick a guy to go back-to-back, the guy that won it last season, a guy that has shown me multiple times on these super speedway races that he knows what he's doing. Give me Nobes. I think Nobes gets it done tonight.
All right. What number is Nobes?
I believe Nobes is in the... Give me 1 second. I have to go back. Nobes is in the 1 car.
So track. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's JR.
Yeah,
there he is.
He's a JRM. Which last year he was
Riley's
in the 18.
team.
He was in the 18 last year for Joe Gibbs, and he got it done at Daytona. But I mean, I think if there's a team that's going to work well together, I think it's definitely Junior Motorsports. I mean, Masopes and McCard, really good friends. Riley will be also running with them, and Nobes is an easy guy to work with. That's 4 really, really strong cars and really great drivers. And I think if they work together, they're going to be a tough team to beat.
So I actually agree with everything you said there, but here's why I didn't pick them. I don't think that this team will allow one of their lesser 2 guys win the race. And what I think happens in that case is that those 2 guys may end up becoming less loyal the closer we get to the end, where a team like, in my opinion, Trackhouse, and of course this is all a big guess. But it seemed like Trackhouse is going to stick together, and Lamar, he's not selfish, but he is a little bit more aggressive. And if he's the guy in front of that team, I think he'd be the benefactor.
Well, and a little behind the scenes knowledge, the Trackhouse guys and the Penske guys will most likely be working pretty well together. I don't know if anybody watched the duels in here last week, but if you noticed, Duel 2, the Trackhouse and Penske team, me and Joker and myself, we decided to kind of work together, and our teammates kind of followed suit. And I think the Xfinity team watched that race, and I think they're going to be doing the same exact thing. But great news. The lobby is going. We can join.
You can join.
Coming in.
All right.
Okay, so I am entering the race. The NASCAR Racing Experience 150, not 300, 150. We're only doing half that distance because we'd be here all night. And like Shake mentioned, there will be manual yellows. If there's two or is it three cars end up in a wreck and the game doesn't call a yellow, they will call a yellow at the line the next time around, and the whole field will come to a slowdown.
Yeah.
And we can do that because everybody's in chat on Discord. That way teams can kind of go in their own chats on the PlayStation Network.
Yeah, and a little bit of knowledge to people who don't watch this league that often. We already have a points leader. It's McCard. You get a point for getting the pole in this league. McCard is your pole setter for the Daytona race here.
Yeah, he's driving the 9 car for Riley and Junior Motorsports. All right, so here we are coming to the green flag, and there's that 9 car up front, number 10. That's Freedom, now known as Carmen, right there on the outside. And McCard's going to get to the early lead. Now, if you have a shifter, you will have an advantage on the restarts. If you're a controller or a non-shifter driver, you're a little bit slower. Now, McCard gets a bit of a jump out to the front, but the field is very tight together. Nobody making contact through turn number 1, and then the 0 and the 10 make a little bit of a door contact. The 9 comes up the track, side by side. It's going to send the front 2 near the wall, but nobody touches it. And Freedom is going to be a little bit shaky off of turn 2, and McCard's going to get pushed below the yellow line. A lot of action here just through the first 2 corners. We're 3 wide, and the 10 car, Freedom, is going to jump right into the front of that pack and try to pull the bottom line back through turn number 3.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if what the 9 was doing. I don't know if he got pushed or if that was a business decision, a team decision to go back and find his teammates and potentially work with them. But as we come to the line, it looks like Freedom is going to lead the first lap of the season. Oh, as he comes up, makes a little bit of contact with the 90.
Yeah, the 90 was trying to get a little side draft, and Freedom, I think, touched the apron, got touched in the rear, and he jolted up. You can't get too close through the corners here because you don't know what might not happen. It could be talent. It could be something else. There goes Masopes, almost pushing it 3 wide, but gets back in line on the bottom. He's in that red number 7 down there for Junior Motorsports. The 21 dips his tires below the line, but this draft is super powerful, and you gotta lift off the throttle a little bit, and when that happens, the car might get out from underneath you, and that's what these guys are holding on to. You have a mix of wheel drivers and controller drivers. Sometimes you can tell which is which. But Colt, what do you see so far as we come to the finish of lap number 2?
Well, right now I'm seeing his inside line form a big snake right here. Looks like they're kind of calming down a little bit, getting settled in for stage 1.
So car 16, which is my pick, Lamar, U of L fan, he's found his way into second place. McCard, your pole sitter, has dropped to third. Freedom Flyer is your leader. But look at 4th place now, number 21, Sikkim. And a little backstory, Sikkim, he took a bit of break from just racing games in general. So this is kind of his comeback tour in a way. And he didn't have the best performances through a lot of those test races and in the qualifying race last week. So here a good showing early on. And just behind him in 5th, that's your pick, Masopes.
Yeah, I mean, to add on with what you said to Sikkim, I mean, I wouldn't say, I mean, the exhibition races were definitely not his best showings, but he was able to win. I believe it was stage 2 last week in the Clash, and he was able to advance to the duels and try to race for a spot in the 500. A very gutsy pit decision by me and the Trackhouse guys. We tried to pit coming to the line. There was 3 to go, coming to 2 to go, and only a few of us made it over the line before pit road closed. He actually got a penalty and got stuck a lap down, and he was not able to advance to the 500.
Oh, interesting fact there. And that could happen here today to any of these guys where they end up losing a lap for, a variety of reasons. Now, the top 5 are actually staying pretty tight together, and that's giving them a little space. You see the number 90 car that is driven by SHR driver, the real Gampusa. And he's been a little bit back and forth, up and down, and that's created a little bit of space. Sikkim, I think, also might have touched the apron and backed him in the 7 up a tiny bit.
Looks like we had a lag. Oh, we have our first red.
We do. That is a yellow of some kind, at least. It looks like it's a true yellow. The game has called it out.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. Whoever is, I believe that was the 90. Looks like, I'm watching small stream. It looks like the 90 lagged back into small, and it just completely stopped the inside line. And it was just the accordion effect after that. Everybody beating and banging. And
the 22, the 4's involved. There's Eyeball Stickum. Eyeball Stickum's involved there. The 19, the 92 looked like they were involved.
18 was also involved.
Yeah, I think that was a lag. And when somebody gets in a lag, these cars are so close together, it's kind of hard for something not to happen.
Yeah, most definitely. Especially, like you said, at a track like this where everybody is under a blanket at all times pretty much. I mean, one little lag, and that's going to change everything. But
well, Freedom on the inside. That's Lamar on the outside, leading the pack down to come to get restarted after our first caution flag. There's the 90 jumping out wide a little bit. Looks like he's backing up to the field. It's going to give up that spot. The 68 there you see in the middle of that black and yellow 68. That's Riley, the owner of Junior Motorsports, driving his hot seat this week.
Yeah, it looks like the 90's dropping. Maybe they're telling him to drop back because of the lag spike until everything clears up, which, I mean, that's going to be an unfortunate situation. I mean, you saw he was running up there in about, I want to say, the fifth place, and now he's going to be all the way back in last. So just more cars you're going to have to pass, and it's not easy to do here.
Looks like the 7 car, Miss Soaps, touched the apron there in the turn 1 area, and that gave some space, and that gave the 0 car a way to get in. That's driven by, of course, I have to keep scrolling. Small NASCAR fan, one of our youngest competitors here today.
Yeah. Also, as we come to the line, I'm going to give you a lap count. That way we know going into it. There was, I believe, 14 laps in this stage. But the caution is going to kind of change everything. So as Small crosses the line on stream, we have 6 laps to go.
All right, 6 laps to go here. But we are single file all the way back to maybe 14th until we get a car in the top lane. These guys, they got to build runs, and you're only going to do that if you're in the draft. There's the 92 getting dropped low. Another guy on the wall.
In the back.
Another lag spike.
The 4 looked like it was involved, maybe?
18, 19, some JGR cars involved.
Yeah, I'm not sure who that was that lagged, but somebody lagged back into...
What was it, the 90 again? The 18 is definitely involved.
Yeah, it was into... They lagged into go boom, and then he got up into the 19, and it was just another situation of beating and banging.
Yeah, that's set boom in the 15.
And it looks like we're going to have a manual. It looks like everybody is checking up.
Yep, manual is out. Everybody's checking up. So this is a league yellow. So you're going to see the guys go slow here on the track for a bit. So we'll try and get through the field. There's Freedom in first. McCart is in second. Lamar is in third. Second, fourth. Fifth is the 68 O'Reilly. Then you got the 0 of Small NASCAR. Oh, sorry, the 7 of Soaps. Then the 0 Small NASCAR fan. The 20 of Electric is in 8th. 9th will be the 4 of Clay the Monkey. And behind him in 10th looks like is the 1. And that is driven by Nobes.
And I'm going to kind of throw something out here. We're on lap 10. We're coming to the line for 4 to go. If you're in the back, do you consider pitting here and then staying out at stage end? That way you can get some track position?
If I'm sure of the math, yes. And every time somebody pits behind, like if I'm in 19th and 20th pits, I'm pitting.
Yeah, not sure what's going on here with the 0. He is lagging back quite a bit.
He might be pitting. I don't know.
Yeah.
Guys might be trying to save fuel on the apron as well.
So right now, I'm looking at Small. He just brought up his indicator. It shows that he has 14 laps, and Small is going to be bringing it down pit road.
Yeah, a bunch of guys faked him out, but Riley and Small did take the pit lane.
Along with HMS fan.
So, looking at it as it is, if you have a fuel tank, you get 21 laps.
NASCAR.
So, I mean,
Guys with damage
Small
definitely pit. Sorry.
Small can stay out here, and Riley can stay out at the end of the stage, and they're going to be leading stage 2. And the guys that staying out now, I mean, you're going for stage points. I mean, the top 10 get stage points, and those are going to be extremely valuable throughout the season. And even winning the stage, getting yourself a playoff point, can be extremely valuable. But looks like the guys, in my opinion, the guys at pit just set themselves up very well to potentially be in a good spot at the beginning of stage 3.
Yeah, Riley's going to lead him off a pit road, a small NASCAR behind him, and they're going to be about, I don't know, 17th on the field, 16th on the field.
Yeah, Riley is in 16th, Small is in 17th, but it's almost kind of like a road course situation, like pitting right before the stage end. That way you can set yourself up for the next stage. I think that's what a couple of these guys just did.
Mm-hmm.
If you're watching, the guys go back and forth, and some of them are taking the road course route, but they're doing that to keep their tires as warm as possible. We want as much grip as possible, especially on these restarts. And if you remember earlier on, I mentioned that the guys who don't have a shifter are at a bit of a disadvantage, so anything they can get out of those tires is going to come in handy.
Absolutely. I'm kind of curious, like, how many laps do we have left once we go back to green?
So we are coming to the line, I believe. Once we cross the line, it'll be 3 to go. When we restart, it'll be 2 to go.
Interesting. It's going to be interesting to see who pulls out and like makes that big move for that stage win, how aggressive it's going to get.
Somebody could pit here, too.
I believe pit road's closed. Normally the race director will close pit road. As coming to the choose, a lot of people choosing the bottom. The first person to take the outside was
going to be Soaps on this.
Yeah, Soaps is going to take the high side.
It should be noted he is a controller driver. So is the guy behind him, electric. So they won't have any kind of advantage. Freedom, I think, is also a controller driver, but McCard, if I'm not wrong, has a wheel and shifter.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but you also got to remember McCard and Masop's teammates. Could McCard potentially open the door and let Masop's down to the bottom? I mean, I will say the one rule that I did not go over earlier, especially in this league, you're on super speedways, you are not allowed to let anybody in until the backstretch. So, I mean, Masop's is going to have to hold his own if that's going to happen, but, I mean, that could be a potential move.
I have seen very good drivers, very fast drivers, start second at Daytona or Talladega and end up in 14th before they get back in line. So it's definitely something to keep an eye on. But he went from 5th to 1st, so it could end up being a wash.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think if you're Masopes and you're in 5th, I don't think with 2 to go on the inside line you have a legitimate shot to win the stage. I think this is kind of something you got to do to give yourself an ounce of an opportunity to win the stage. I mean, these manual restarts, if you time it well and the guy behind you times it well, it's the same rule as real life.
Problem.
Like, the leader doesn't have to get to the line first. They just have to accelerate first. So if the guy behind you gets a good jump and gives you a good push, I mean, you can be ahead of the leader coming to the line. But here we go, coming to 2 to go. Geico restart zone up ahead. Freedom is your control car.
All right, following the 10 car, Freedom Flyer for Trackhouse Racing, and he's got a big jump. As Soaps did not get going. He's going to have 3 or 4 cars go by him before he even gets up to some kind of speed. McCard in 2nd, Lamar in 3rd, Sikkim in 4th. There's Masopes falling into 5th. And and Electric in the 20 stays behind him. The 1 car, I don't know if he broke the rule, but that's the one who gave the space, and that's a Junior Motorsports car.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know what happened if Masopes
Actually,
was
the
in the
one
wrong...
car may have got in too. I think he was on the outside.
I don't know if Masopes was in the wrong gear or something, but he did not accelerate in any way, shape, or form there.
Well, 1.5 laps to go here in the first stage of the first race of the 8th season of HPL. And Freedom is having very little competition from McCard, who has a teammate just above him in Masopes.
Yeah, Masopes is trying to make a run on the high side. That outside line is moving a little bit, but they're going to need more numbers as we come to the line. 1 to go here in stage 1.
One more time around here for stage number 1. We'll get some points earned. How are you going to get some points? We've got some guys in the back trying to make moves. That's the 93 as well as the 6 trying to get up into the top 10. But that top line stalled out here on the back straightaway. Everybody stays down low. 5, 6 cars up top, but not making much of a move. Does
Ooh.
anybody want to pop out here from the bottom line? But here comes the 7. Here comes Masopes. McCart tries to throw a block, but gets himself stuck up high. Lamar has to back off. The 10 is now alone out in front of the field. Masopes and Electric coming, hurling down into the front straightaway. Here comes the 7 down low. The 10 trying to throw a block into the tri-oval. Freedom Flyer, Masopes, Electric. I think the 10 still got it.
Yeah, the 10 definitely got it there. The 10's going to be your stage winner. I think the 20 might have snuck and got second place in that stage. I think that was Electric getting second place. But I'm not sure what happened. I think McCard backed off thinking that he was going to be able to make a run, and that high side just got to him so quick that any chance he had was absolutely gone. Masopes tried to make a move, but just not enough time to get there. Freedom with a really good block, and he's going to start the season off with 10 points and a playoff point, which this is a guy that a lot of people have slept on. We've seen a lot of playoff predictions. I didn't see Freedom's name in anybody's playoff predictions. So if he can start the season off, I mean, he obviously did as well as you can do in stage 1, got the win. But if he can win tonight and lock himself into the playoffs pretty much, he could rattle some cages. Very aggressive, very fast driver. Could be somebody to watch out for.
Lots of cars did stay out, and especially Hendrick 9 Chase, who's driving that 6 car for Heredia. And then you got the 36, that's Jackson. Is it not Jackson in a hot seat for his own team?
That is Jackson in a hot seat, and the guy I was telling you about, the guy I'm watching on stream, Small, he stayed out. He's going to have enough fuel to make it to the end. This is only a 12-lap stage. So
put the 19 in that camp as well.
Yeah, so like I said, that's what I thought they were going to do, flip the stage, and that is exactly what they did. And they're going to have track position, and the guys behind them that stayed out, they're going to have to make some moves. I'm not sure what's happening. We got a car on the wall.
That's Lamar slapping the back straight wall. And now that's Masopes now going through the grass.
Yeah, Lamar is
Hendrick stays out in
lose
front.
The draft, and that's a tough thing to overcome, especially here. I mean, the bright side, it is only 12 laps. I don't see him going a lap down from that, but he's going to have to do everything in stage 3 unless we get a caution.
Now, it's kind of important to note that those top 4 cars that stayed out, they kind of have to stay together, because if they're not together, they're going to be running by themselves, and I guess that won't be that big of a deal now that I think about it, but they should try to stay together if they can. That way they can at least draft when there's nobody around them. The top 4 is starting to split up. That's Hendrick, small NASCAR fan, followed by Freedom and Sikkim. Now 5th place, that's Electric, who did a little boogie-woogie to get that 2nd place finish in stage number 1. And then the one of Nobes just behind him with Jackson Altman. So a lot of different teams now kind of spread out here in the top 8.
Yeah, it doesn't really look like how I thought it was going to go in any way, shape, or form. I thought you would definitely see all the teams kind of line up and work together, but it almost feels like a free-for-all right now. It really does. It feels like every man for themselves, and I think that's going to be a tough thing. It almost is a benefit at this point to be the leader, because if you don't have people that are choreographing their moves and talking to the people that they're working with, and they're kind of out of sync, I mean, it's a lot easier to block those situations than when it's a in unison move. So I think Hendrick's in a really good spot. Small's in a really good spot. And you see your stage 1 winner. Oh, yeah. You see your stage 1 winner, Freedom. He's in 3rd place.
Yeah, Freedom, who started 5th, ended up in 3rd. He was on the bottom line, past those cars on the top line. Sikkim as well. And it looks like Electric was able to get down into line. Behind Electric, I have... Who's that behind Electric? I have Nobes, and then that's Jackson behind him. I wasn't sure who got on the apron. I thought it might have been Jackson, but it looks like he stayed in line.
Yeah, it looks like the car that got onto the apron was... I can't even find him. It was Killer. Killer in the 44, so he is another guy that's lost a draft. Last year's... I believe he was the runner-up in the Xfinity Series. He had a really good running at the end of the season. Was able to win at Talladega to make the playoffs. A little bit of controversy in that race, but he did make the playoffs, and then he made the championship 4, and him, Nobes, and Cody the Bear had one of the best championship races I've ever seen. Just were flip-flopping the lead. It was almost like nobody wanted it. That's how it was going. And he ran out of fuel on the last lap, and Nobes was able to Or no, it was Kenny. Kenny LaFleur. That's who it was. I'm sorry, not Nobes. Yeah, Kenny was able to get it done. But so he's a guy to watch out for. I mean, obviously, like we've talked about, Daytona, anything can happen. He's lost the draft. He'll be back there for stage 3. But a guy to keep your eyes on this season.
A couple of guys were trying to run high. That was I2 Ball Stick, as well as Brody. They were trying to run up high, but there's nothing happening with the 3 cars. The 22 looks like it has a bit of a lag, but he's towards the back of the field here. He's going to get out of line and try to trail the field. That's also the 39 in the very back. That's
Brody.
That's Brody in the 39. Oh, the 68 is Riley, of course, your JR Motorsports owner. And there's Masopes, who's we saw go through the grass before. He's ended up now in the back of the pack. So we got a couple of teammates nearish to each other. Here comes Electric trying to lead the high line here as it's starting to build a little bit more momentum.
Cars making some moves, finally making moves that are staying straight, trying to get up to the front of the pack.
Yeah,
something's got to happen eventually.
I think for the first time all race, this is probably the most cars we've seen on the high lines. People are trying to make that second line work.
Looks like they're trying to make a third line work as well, as the 15 car is now stuck up near the wall. And that's kind of the ballet here, because if you're in the high line, you're near the wall on the straightaway, but then you have to get down a lane, and if you don't get down a lane, you're going to get passed. There it goes. Freedom doesn't get down a lane, and now he's up near the top. Although I have a feeling he gave that up because I'm sure he wants to save some more fuel.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know how much fuel means in this stage because everybody has enough to make it to the end. But, yeah, I think he just
missed the lane.
Missed a lane, little mistake, let somebody get under him, and, you pay the consequences here really quickly.
Second to 12th, just like that.
Let that dry. Go to the back of the pack really fast.
And that's also the mental ballet, if you will, because these guys in the back, they're going to go on the top line, and then as soon as that bottom line starts to work, they're going to abandon the top. They want to pass cars too. They're not just there to push.
Yeah, and one guy I've kind of been keeping my eye on this stage, kind of seeing what he's doing. I'm going to keep an eye on him no matter what. He's my driver. Brody in the 39, kind of what you just talked about. I mean, he moved up to the high side when it was trying to work. It wasn't working. The bottom opened up. He passed 3 or 4 cars, and he's trying to work his way through the field, but then just hasn't worked out. I don't know what he's doing here. Oh, he's on the the 68. He's able to save it. The Daytona glitch.
Riley, I was looking at the leaders.
Yeah, Riley hit the Daytona glitch, and he is going to lose the draft. And
a lot of cars losing the draft.
Yeah,
pit lane too.
If Brody and I believe that is who's in the 15. Go Boom. Yeah, Go Boom. It looks like if they don't get lined up, they're going to lose touch of the pack. And I think the 5 cars that are still out are going to lose the pack. But I think flipping through the cars, I just saw, I believe Riley brought it down pit road.
Yeah, it looks like he might have got a little damage on that. Probably wants to fix it and just get back out there. Maybe he's going to stay out at the beginning for stage 3. But I don't know if that makes sense, but we'll see what these guys do. You never know what kind of strategy they try to pull off, especially if they have the teammates to do it. Well, they were single file, but now they're starting to get back up high, and guess who's leading that high line? It's Electric, and then small NASCAR fan who's going to pull him up and then get right back down into lane. I don't know if he realizes that's helping the high line, and that left the leader out to drive for a second there, and that's going to give them even more of a run up high. You have about 6 cars, and then there's the red car back there. I think it's Soaps goes back to the bottom.
Yeah, and you see Riley on the bottom. He is going to lose a lap from that incident. Oh, as we got a car lagging back.
He's in the wall.
Big Jim, big lag. Yes, they're going to have him drop.
And the 92 also going down through the infield. He's around off the inside retaining wall, a la Danica Patrick.
That's a hard hit. That's a talk to me when you can driver type of hit.
I don't know if that was a manual or not. We'll see here at the line, but they're dropping down like flies here in stage number 2. We got about a 10 or 11 car lead draft here on the bottom lane.
As we come to the line here,
hit the wall. He's trying to catch back up.
We got 2 to go. 2 to go in stage 2.
2 more laps around here, so there would be no manuals under the 5 lap to go rule. Hendrick leading this field still, has had very little competition reach his door. NASCAR fan has gone up and down a couple of lanes. He's maintained a second place run here in the second stage, as well as Sikkim sitting in 3rd and Nobes in 4th.
Yeah, I got my camera set on
NASCAR. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I said I have my camera set on Hendrick 9 Chase facing the back of the pack, seeing that move is coming. They're already set up on the outside line. I'm trying to see when a move comes, what lane he's going to block and how he's going to control these lanes.
He so far hasn't shown that he wants to go up and down a lane. He's kind of just protecting that bottom lane. And then these guys now abandoning, can't find the hole. Slick NASCAR is going to make a move on the outside of Masopes. Electric was able to get in the line. There's Hendrick moving up a lane for Slick NASCAR's move, but nothing behind the zero. And both those cars are going to run high, and the bottom lane seems to have stalled out a tiny bit with Sikkim holding it up.
I think Sickham's dropping back a little bit to try and generate a run. But if he doesn't get
nobody
going,
in front of him,
yeah, it's going to be the same thing. That I think Masopes is going to get to that high side. You're not going to be able to make the move you need to make. As Small's going to drop back down, block Sikkim, and now Small's going to have a little bit of momentum. Does he make a move?
Of the top three, he's the only one that had the best draft down the straightaway as he stayed behind the 6. And as they come to one more time around, there goes the 0 up high, anticipating a run by the high line, but they don't have it, and he's going to lose spots. The 6 moves up. That gives Sikkim the bottom lane.
That's the end of the stage.
Oh, that was the end of the stage. Oh.
Yeah, so Hendrick's going to win. Hendrick's going to win stage 2. Small P2, Sikkim P3. He just scrolled, so I'm not able to see anything right now. Not sure who got what position after that, and they've all kind of... I know McCard was the last person to get points. He got 10th.
I think Nobes got 4th, right?
Yeah, 2-ball, he got 9th. Electric in 8th. Dank in 7th. Masopes in 6th.
Dank driving the monster number 18 car.
Here we go, though. Stage 3.
And here goes Freedom.
Freedom back to the lead.
Hendrick's going to lose a spot on the pit. It looks like Freedom stayed out.
Yeah, he did stay out. Freedom forgot to pit.
Oh, no.
Well, he's just going to have to pit earlier, and I don't know how many laps he's off, but that could be a pretty big deal.
Yeah, there's 28 laps.
Or something.
28 laps in this stage, and you get 21 with the fuel tank. So he's put himself in a predicament that unless there is a caution, he has no shot at winning this race.
He could be saved by other strategy because at the amount of laps we have here, they could be splitting the stage in half. So at lap 14 or 15, and that could be more than enough for the 10 to go down with somebody else. So we'll have to wait and see what happens, but it may not all be lost for the 10 team.
I think the issue with that, though, is he's going to have to take a lot more fuel than the rest of the guys because the other guys can probably make it on a tank, and he's probably going to have to take 2. And
Electric getting moved up the track.
That's just valuable time on pit road that I don't know unless like the whole field comes and he pits from the lead. I don't think he'll be in the draft.
That's the last place you want to be. Last place you want to be is in the lead when you have a field situation like that.
Yeah, that is
it's
also
just getting worse. Every lap it's getting worse. He's basically the rabbit.
Yeah, and I mean, he's got a teammate behind him, so maybe he's accepted his fate, and he's just going to help Sikkim at this point.
Yeah, that could be a good strategy, too. Get your team to win. Sacrifice yourself. You're the one who made the bad call, so to speak, so. But a big line of cars here on the bottom of the racetrack. One car up high back in the back, a white car.
Yeah, and I really think Stage 3, this is all you're going to see until green flag pit stops. I think everybody's going to be content to run in line, save fuel, make that last pit stop as short as possible.
That one car up high was the 22 of HMS Fan. He's trying to get in line. He lost a lot of spots to do so.
And I'm going to be 100% honest. In a situation like this, if I'm in the back like this, once I hit like the 20 laps to go or 19 laps to go, I'm trying to talk some people into pitting right then and there. And kind of doing what the Toyotas did in real life last year at Talladega, where when everybody else was saving, we pit and push, and you're going to make them have to push, or if not, you're going to have a huge gap when they come out of pit road. So there can be a lot of games that are played in this situation right now, and it's going to be interesting to see who plays what and who does what. Sikkim has fallen off a lot. I think he's fallen off too much. I don't think there's any way in the world he's getting the draft from Freedom.
About a second is where you get the draft. I mean, he's getting draft because he's getting draft behind him, too. So you know he's getting the icon. But he's probably holding off, definitely trying to save a little bit of fuel for whatever his reasoning.
Yeah, and you can see people are jumping. People are jumping to the high side. I think they're getting a little frustrated with how much he's backing off. And it looks
I can imagine.
Inside.
These guys don't need to save fuel. But there goes Electric up high, leading Dank and McCard and Riley, as well as Slick NASCAR in the 19. And Electric's going to threaten the lead, especially since, as you said, Freedom did not have much push behind him.
He doesn't have any.
And there goes Electric. Does he make a move to the inside? He's got his teammate pushing behind him.
I think he's going to bring the guys that pushed him up there with him.
He's going to bring at least the 18 with him. It looks like the 9 almost had to move down low, but he didn't want to leave his owner just behind him. And don't forget, Slick NASCAR, also with the JGR stable, is at the back of that line. So they could be just waiting for the 19. And for all we know, Freedom's letting them do it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Freedom, you need to save fuel anyway. So, I mean, like Colts mentioned earlier, leading is not the place you want to be.
Sure enough, once Slick NASCAR got by him, that top line went right in front.
Yeah, and, I mean, a good move by those guys. Electric, I mean, as long as he trusts the guys behind him, I mean, he can push as hard as he wants. And if they come to the pits with him, it should work out. But like I said, if I'm in the back right now, if I'm a guy like HMS fan, he's all the way at the back of this line. I'm trying to talk some people into short pitting once I get to the point where I know I can make it, because the pace has dropped off a lot.
Yeah, I don't know if these guys are trying to save fuel or just gather up some runs, but you're right. It is just a very casual pace here. I did see Dank starting to back up in the 18 once he got into second place, give some space to Electric, and then gathered it back up. Another high line starting to form. The 6 tried to get in front of it, but almost put it in the door.
Yeah, I mean, I'm watching, like I said, I'm watching small streams to keep us a lap counter. Right now, he's going 178 through the corners.
Even for Xfinity, that's low.
The pace has slowed down quite a bit. Oh, there's a little bit of a lag right there towards the back of the pack.
But as you said, the less time on pit road, the better. So if you can extend this run as long as you can and only have to put in, I don't know, a half a tank or a tank, and you are on pit road, for less time than everybody else, you're going to be in the advantage.
Yeah.
The question is, how early do you pit?
Yeah, that's a situation that you kind of gotta figure it out. I mean, I don't know. If I'm in the back,
if you could get 2 teams together, like we said, a couple of teams were working together. If I could get 8 total cars down pit road at the halfway point, I might do that.
Yeah, as you see the high line trying to make another move again, as Gapabusa is going to be the one to get stuck out, as Brody's going to fill that hole.
Yeah, and Set Boom in the 15, when he brought it back down low, went a little too far and almost sent it back up through the apron. Yes. There's the Ford trying. People want to get up high. It's like they're trying to just send a message. Hey, I'm here. If you pull up, I'll be here. But
yeah,
no one's doing it.
If you look, I mean, he didn't lose it, even being by himself with the whole field on the bottom. With as much as everybody's saying he did not lose any time going by himself full throttle there.
Yeah, and there's a lot of gaps. So you're right. At this point in the race, these guys back up and they're like, all right, and they get back in line a car or two later. Not like earlier where it was the entire field would pass you.
Yeah, we're not quite nose to tail like we were earlier. There's definitely
actually,
some
small NASCAR has a lot of space.
Oh, a big checkup in the back, and we got a high line forming again. As who is that behind Small? Is that Killer?
Yeah, the 44 is Killer behind Small.
Yeah, it would not shock me. Oh, it looks like the 10 signaling that he's going to pit. Is the 0 signaling that he's going to pit too? Is he going to come down and pit?
I think he's stuck. I think the 0 got stuck below the line, but that's a good question. I don't think Sickham's pitting. He went up high to draft behind the 7, so he's not going to come down with his teammate.
Yeah, the 10's pitting.
Only the 10 is pitting.
And he's by himself. That's going to be...
No one else.
That's going to
be...
To. Yeah, I mean, unless there's a caution, that's the end of the night for Freedom. But at the same time, if there's a caution before everybody pits, he's your race leader.
He's set up. He's set up real nice. It's 1-5 goes way.
Yeah. I think Freedom... If I'm Freedom right now going down pit road, I'm praying to whoever I believe in at this point. Somebody lag. Somebody do something stupid. Give me the caution I need.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gabo Musa was able to get back in line, by the way, after that little mess up. Not his mess up, but that little, schneid.
Oh, it's a big
but
move.
But still more space happening in the middle of this field, and the guys are trying to run up high. That's the 44.
Yeah, the 44 of Killer and the 92 of Jim.
And Big Jim making his triumphant return to sim racing on the console. Big iRacer nowadays.
Yeah, as you see Freedom coming out of pit road, I don't think he's even going to be able to pick up the back of this pack at this pace.
No, he's going to be well more than a lap down. And as you said, Colt, he's going to need a caution.
Mm-hmm.
And if there is a manual, they do let the first car make up their lucky dog lap back, so he would be in that position.
Yeah, but I mean,
wouldn't
even
say
at that,
he's completely out of it.
I don't know,
Watch
man.
go his way.
Even at that point, being a lap down, you're still starting at the back, and there's really not a ton of laps left. I mean, we've seen a lot of guys. I think we've seen a lot of the same guys run up front this race. So you haven't seen a lot of people come from the back. So
now Brody looking high.
Yeah. As Clay.
But a lot of single file racing, fuel saving, reminiscent of the 2024 Daytona 500. The 4 car now running up high. Not saving fuel when you do that, though.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the 4 is doing. I think he's just getting a little impatient. I haven't seen
Not
Clay.
Everybody's on the same strategy.
I haven't seen Clay on NASCAR, and I don't know how long. I didn't even know he had the game. So I know he is very, very good in F1, but I don't think he's a big fan of this fuel saving. He wants to go, but yeah, I think he's the only one right now that wants to go.
Well, we're coming up on halfway in stage number 3 of the HPL Xfinity 150. I've been keeping a close eye in the middle of this pack where Killer's at. There's been a lot of up and downs, but no passes to be made. The leader is still Electric in the 20 car. That's Dank, his teammate, just behind him in the 18. McCard, your pole sitter, driving for JR Motorsports, is in 3rd. And I believe that's Riley in 4th, his owner.
Ooh.
So it's a JGR, JRM front 5. Because you got Slick NASCAR in the 19 running 5th. And then JRM, 2 cars behind them. So there's your team. There's the 2 of them running in the top 8. Top 7 at least. I don't know. The 54 is not in this race, so that's one of your guys missing.
Yeah.
Electric gets a bit of a lead. Looks like Dank's backing up. Now, Dank backing up does not necessarily mean he's trying to build a run, because with his teammate back there, he's actually preventing 3rd and 4th from trying to generate their own runs. Oh, there's Clay into the wall in the back.
Oh,
the 4 took a header, and Slick. It looks like Slick NASCAR also. I'm sorry, Small NASCAR also got involved. So
that's a game caution.
That's a game caution.
Yeah, and Freedom might be back in as he got what he wanted.
And he can pit.
Yeah, he can pit again.
He can pit, fill it up, get fresh tires, and join the back of the field.
It's going to be interesting to see how this turns out. I don't think fuel saving is really in the cards anymore, is it?
And who might take 2 tires? Who's going to not take a full tank here because they want to get off a pit road fast? Electric Dank might not be your front 2.
Yeah. Well, you see any tires get taken here. It's a good one.
Yeah, most of these guys might just take fuel.
Yeah.
Ooh, it looks like Freedom is not the first car lap down. It looks like Go Boom is the first car lap down in 20.
Oh, interesting developments. So Freedom would have to stay out then.
Yeah, take the waiver around.
Yeah. See, I don't know if that happens. You'll have to let us know. Shake and bake.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
He is at the very back of the field.
Oh, we got JGR 1-2.
So after the pit stops, that's Nobes and then Masopes, 1st and 2nd. Electric falls to 3rd. Killer's in 4th. Danks in 5th. McCart is in 6th, followed by Big Jim in the 92. 2 SHR cars. That's the 98 just above him. That's your top 8. And Hendrick in the 6th. He's trying to pull up underneath. There's the 19 Slick NASCAR. The 92 Big Jim off the apron, but keeps it together. Your JRM cars are still side by side with Nobes leading the way down low in that Oreo number 1 car.
Got Killer in 4th place.
You have to give me 1 second. It looks like Small turned off his stream. It might have been lagging and just didn't want to use any more internet than he needed to, so I'm going to have to find another stream to give us a lap counter.
All right. Good luck with that. Let us know what you find. It would be very useful. Masopes ends up getting in line right in front of Electric. It makes you wonder, is JRM and JGR working together? Oh, he got some trouble down the grass. That's Riley going through the infield grass, comes back up through the field. Did he take anybody out? I lost it on camera once he got back up.
I don't think he
he
did. I
did.
think that was a
it's just him.
solo incident.
Solo wreck. Everybody stays in the pack except for Riley. Tough break for the. Oh, then we're
Oh, that
slowing
car in the
down.
wall. Oh, we
That
got
looked like a
spin.
lag spike.
It's like Hendrick Chase spinning back.
Freedom
So that's
spinning.
2 cars around in 2 separate incidents. The 90 met Gamma Pusa. He got involved, but I think they're slowing down for Emmanuel.
It's a game caution. I just got on
it's a
Nope
game
Stream. That
caution.
is going to be a game caution.
Excellent
All
work
right.
there. I don't know who else got involved, but we're at least 2 cars plus Gapo Musa in the 90 who he was involved, but he was able to keep going. Give me 1 second. I got to grab a drink of water.
Yeah, so that's gonna be big because I'm not 100% sure if Freedom did get the free pass on the last caution or not. So everybody will be back on the lead lap at this point now.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. They're running out of laps. Fuel and tires are starting to become not a big factor, but just who makes the right moves at the right time.
All right. Sorry, that throat was getting a bit dry, but all right. There should be no more green flag pit stops now. It is a bit of an assumption, but
Yeah, 100% we will be able to make it to the end. As coming to the line, give me 1 second and I'll be able to give us a lap counter, but Nobes is going to be your leader.
Nobes, Masopes for Junior Motorsports. That's Electric for JGR in 3rd, and Dank in 4th, also for JGR.
6 to go. We have 6 to go.
Your last 6 laps here at Daytona for the HPL Xfinity 150, the first race in nearly a year in Hennessy Performance League. Nobes, your leader. Masopes in 2nd. Electric, a little contact off of Masopes' rear, goes into the apron. That's going to hold up the entire field behind them. That's going to give Nobes a bit of a run.
Look at Nobes playing the teammate game, going up top, bringing his teammate with him.
And Dank, he tried to follow him low, but went too far underneath the apron, and good thing his teammate lets him in. Big Jim now leading the high line with his teammate just behind him. And my pick, Lamar, running 3rd in the high line.
I'm not trying to flex or anything, but my pick is leading with 5 to go.
That is true. You picked the driver and the team. So even if he doesn't win, you're pretty good.
Yeah, and you see in the back, now's the time to go. A couple of these guys, you got Big Jim up top. He's trying to make a move. I mean, if you're running in that 8th to like 8th and beyond, you got to start making moves. You got to, in my opinion, you have to be in the top 5 coming to the white to have a legitimate shot to win this race.
All 3 SHR cars are trying to run the high line, but nobody's working with them. Jackson can't even get to his drivers. That's I2 Ball Stickum in the 98. He gets in line and leaves his teammate out to dry. So SHR is in a bit of shambles here. That's a every man for himself situation.
Let's come to the line. 4 to go.
Lamar trying to make a move, but then the 15 got below Lamar.
Yeah,
and that's set. Boom. He's going to get a spot.
Up front, I mean, it's kind of cautiously
and he gets
patient.
below the 19. Sorry,
19.
Shake it big, but the 19 gave him just that inch, and Set Boom took every bit of it.
Yeah, Go Boom, one of the more aggressive drivers you're going to see in this league. If there's the tiniest
we got his
sliver.
car in the grass.
39. It's in the grass.
That's Brody.
Oh boy, my driver. How exciting.
Solo, only car.
No.
Big Jim ended up all the way in the back of his pack, by the way, after he was left outside by his teammate. At least he's with his owner, Jackson, back there.
Yeah, Gafamusa gave Boom a little bit of a taste of his own medicine. He shoved the nose under Boom going into 3, and Boom lost 2 spots. As coming to the line, we have 3 to go.
3 to go, no outside line. And when's that outside line going to form again?
Actually, the 90's also part of SHR.
I think the car to watch right now, that 3rd place car in the 18, he has backed off quite a bit at multiple times, kind of just feeling it out. When does he make the move? When does he make a run? He's in prime position. I think if you're McCard, and I know McCard pretty well, I think he's going to be a good teammate until they come to the line. I don't see McCard making any moves unless he knows that him or Nobes is going to be guaranteed to win. He's going to push as much as he can, but you kind of see the front 2 staggering it out a little bit, kind of limiting what Dank can do. So having
McCard
2 teammates
is backing way off of Killer.
Yeah, but having 2 teammates up front, if you play it right, you can really control the field.
Yeah, JGR, 2 cars plus Killer is at a disadvantage here, but Dank's trying to do everything he can. I've been Dank in this position, and I've been Masopes in this position. And if you're Masopes, there's really nothing you can do but push your teammate. But when you're Dank, you're almost controlling the entire field behind you just by lifting. But if you do it too much, you're going to set yourself up to get past because the high line will get going.
Yeah, and I mean, with Dank, his situation, he's got a teammate right behind him, and then he's got Killer behind him. I think those two will definitely go, but the guy right behind them, you got to wonder, McCard, does he make the move with him, or does he just stick it in the bottom and really push Masopes and Nobes?
If I'm McCard, I'm pushing Killer as much as I can because I want to make sure that they can't back off in front of me.
Yes, here we go. White flag is in the air.
So one more time around, the last time around here on a Wednesday night for HPL's Xfinity Series, the Daytona 150.
Here comes that run. Here comes the 18 and the 20. They got a big run coming down the backstretch. They're going to peek to the outside.
But nobody goes with them. It's just the JGR cars.
Nobody was with them. Wow.
Killer did
Killer
not
stayed
go.
low.
Wow.
McCard's going to follow Killer.
Did
and then,
not expect that.
Stickum is the lone SHR guy up there, and he's going to stay on the bottom. So Dank and Electric out to dry, but here comes to the checkered flag with Soaps trying to get below his teammate, but the winner's going to be Nobes in the one. Way to go. JRM and Nobes finish 1 and 2 and 4.
JRM Masterclass here today.
Third place goes to Killer, and I think fifth place went to
Ballstick.
Oh man, I think it was the 98.
Yeah, sixth place was Lamar. Seventh was Dank. Eighth, Electric. Ninth was Freedom. Freedom made a great comeback there to get all the way back up to ninth. 10th place, rounding out your top 10, was Sikkim. So we'll go ahead and get the top 3 in here. Do you have any of them added, Brink, so you can invite them to the party?
I probably do. Who am I adding?
Nobes.
Nobes I don't have. Masopes I have.
All right. I think I have Nobes. We'll see if I can get him in here. And then Killer. Colts, if you could do me a favor and just search up Killer XL and invite him to the party.
Yeah.
So where are you, Masopes?
He's probably up here and offline. He's a celebrity.
Yeah. I'll have to search him.
Heck yeah. My driver, fastest lap. That'll be a point. Brody with the fastest lap of the race.
All right. Soaps has been invited. So what a finish. You know, we had a lot of action in this race. A couple of yellow flags, a manual flag. Here's Miss Soaps joining us now, your runner-up tonight.
Yeah.
And,
also,
you know, we had a heck of a finish. Guys really trying hard to pull whatever they could do to get through that draft here at Daytona in these Xfinity cars. But nobody could get by that one.
Yeah, I sent Nobes an invite. Colts, were you able to get Killer?
Yeah, it's Killer XL underscore, right?
Yes.
Cool.
Oh, looks like I'm accidentally going into the next race.
Same here.
Yeah.
I'm headed to Dover. While we're waiting, let's go ahead and talk to our second place finisher. Masopes, you got a copy, bud.
Yep.
So, a very strong start to the season. Obviously, a second place finish. Not too shabby. One spot away from the best you can do, but, your teammate gets the win. How do you feel coming out of this?
Yeah, that was the plan with 10 to go, right? When you get lined up behind them. Cautions fell, and unfortunately I had to start second, but I was able to side draft him, and one time able to get a run and get in, and then the second time I kind of forced my way inside. I just kind of roughed up Electric a little bit, was able to get in, and just push your teammate to the win.
Yeah, most definitely. Brink, do you have any questions for?
I have one question. It's just you guys seem to have a really good pace together. You guys worked well together, but were you working with any other teams out there, or was it strictly a JRM thing for you?
No, it was JRM and JGR working together.
Well, and that showed in who was up front, right? These guys worked well together, and that's who got up to the front. So good job today, Miss Soaps. Good job to the team, and congrats to you all.
Yeah, really good points day.
Colts, do you have any questions for our second place finisher, Miss Soaps?
No, not really. I just want to congratulate him on a podium finish and a good momentum starter for your team.
Thank you.
What do you think this does for you starting off the season. How do you think you guys are gonna stay up to the top, or is it gonna be kind of hard?
We're gonna finish ahead of that guy that finished in third in the regular season standings. That's for sure.
Yeah, 10-4.
It just gives us that boost of momentum. You know, you think about those guys over there at RSS, and they just, you know,
Yeah, you're
you
welcome,
want
by
to
the
beat
way,
them.
myself. You're welcome.
Oh, by the way, I didn't mean to block. I'm really sorry to cut the broadcast off. This needs to be said. I didn't mean to block you three right there. I was trying to unmute my mic to tell Joker Small was lagging, but that did
No,
make me laugh really hard. I'm sorry.
you're good, dude.
All right, well, let's turn our attention to our third place finisher, Killer.
Yo, what's up?
I mean, third place, not a bad finish by any means. Do you feel like there's anything you could have done differently on that last lap to potentially give yourself a win, or were you happy with the move that you made to kind of go to the outside or inside, stay on the inside, and kind of maximize your points?
No, there was absolutely nothing else I could have done. You know, I had a JRM car behind me. I had basically 4 JRM cars in front of me, and so kind of just rode in line and hoped they would make a move and I could slip under them, and that's what they did, and that's what I did, and I'll take a podium.
So yeah, you were the lead SHR car out there. I think Gapamusa ended up a little bit just behind you, or no, Stickum ended up a couple spots behind you. But so yeah, were you just at a party with your guys? Like, what was it? Just kind of nerve wracking, not knowing what the guys were going to do around you.
Yeah, I was just in a party with my teammates and our honorary teammate Brody, and yeah, I mean we got all lined up, but it's just impossible to make a move when you're not at the front like that, because you make a move, you get a few spots up on the top, and then you just lose all of your momentum. So just ride the entire bottom, and if you can work together, you can, but if not, it really does not matter unless you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Colt, you got anything for our third place finisher?
No, I say you put on a heck of a show, and congrats on your third place.
Thank you.
All right, and we could turn it over to our race winner. Not to brag, my pick to win. You go back to back, won it last year, and you win it this year. Nobes, congratulations on the win. What was going through your head on the last lap? I mean, you had your teammate behind you. I said on the broadcast, I didn't see Masopes making a move on you until it came to the line. That way it guaranteed you all 1-2. But what was going through your head?
Yeah, we had a couple of us in that lead pack there that were in our chat party, so it made it a lot easier to stay in line. And Miss Hope said he was going to push me kind of the whole way, so it really wasn't that nerve-wracking just because I knew everything behind me wasn't going to be too bad.
Now, were you racing to the line, or was Masopes just pulling an Earnhardt for you, blocking the field?
Yeah, no, I was just racing the line, trying to break the draft at the end there and make sure I got there.
Nice. Well, congrats, man. Good job on winning the first race in a long time.
Yeah.
Colts, you got anything?
Well, I guess one thing is, like, how important is it, like, for, like, communication purposes with your teammate? No, being like 1-2 and not being overly aggressive that cost you the win.
Yeah, it's huge just for Daytona and Talladega. Like, there we had 8 guys, and I think the start of stage 3, everybody was trying to save gas, and we all just decided to go to the top and pull everybody to the front. And from there, we were able to control everything how we wanted and pull our strategy, and it worked out for most of us.
Now, since Mason is still here, I'll let you guys both know. Pre-race, Shake and Bake picked you guys to win the race. I picked Lamar, but one of the things I said was I thought JRM would work really well together, but at the end would go every man for himself and would cost themselves to win. So you proved me wrong there for sure. So kudos to you guys, and excellent start to the season. Way to go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really,
thank you.
really appreciate you all making me look smart.
Yeah, thank you. You know, there's never going to be a moment where I'm second and a teammate is ahead of me, and if I
Yeah.
continue to push him, there's no reason for me to pull out of line and try to win the race. I mean, to me, that's kind of selfish. My teammate's in the position he's in because he put himself there, and you just want to help him win the race.
Well, there you have it, straight from the horse's mouth. And I didn't get a single slide job out of you, Shake and Bake. You lied.
Yeah, I was going to pull a junior and yell slide job, but nobody really did anything too aggressive tonight that I could have pulled it out. But you know, there's a lot more races this season. I'll get to whip it out at some point.
All right, so if there's anything else, gentlemen?
I mean, for tonight, no. I think that pretty much wraps everything up from the Xfinity side. Just a reminder, tomorrow night, the Cup Series will be in action from Daytona as well. I will not be in the booth. I will be down there racing. So I believe, Brink, you're going to be carrying the torch again, and you'll have 2 other guys with you calling all the action. But I believe we are at the same time tomorrow night, Cup Series action. Be sure to tune in.
Yeah, make sure anybody watching this, whether you're a competitor, a fan, or whatnot, maybe you're somebody's mom or dad, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, and then even hit that bell, because every Wednesday and Thursday night for the next couple of months, you're going to see some pretty good competitive racing. I mean, midweek racing. I've always rooted for it, and here we're doing it. So tune in. By the way, Cup races, both series. Some weeks you'll see the 20 cars. Some weeks you'll see the 22 cars. So keep an eye out for what happens here at HPL. Anybody else has final words?
Well, I was saying, my first race commentating, I had a blast with all y'all. I was honored to be up here with y'all, share the booth, and watch a fun and exciting race.
Cheers to that. Congratulations to Nobes, Masopes, and Killer for getting your podium here tonight. Thanks, Shake and Bake. Thank you, Colt Boy. Guys, it'll be fun. It's been fun. It's been real. God bless. Drive fast. Take chances. As long as it's on a video game. See you guys tomorrow night.